Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Man United have reportedly made Jude Bellingham their top transfer target in 2023. Jude Bellingham is valued at around 100 million. Liverpool are interested in him. Jude Bellingham is at Borussia Dortmund. He's been at Borussia Dortmund since 2020. Borussia Dortmund got him from Birmingham for an initial fee of 25 million. At the time, he became the most expensive 17-year-old in history. Jude Bellingham is under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2025. He's made 73 appearances in the Bundesliga. Now, I want to give you some news regarding Casemiro. So, Casemiro is impressed by Ten Hag's obsessions. Casemiro's really made an impact since he come to Manchester United. Casemiro scored his first goal for the club in the 1-1 draw with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Casemiro rescued a point for Man United because he scored a header in injury time. Manchester United got Casemiro from Real Madrid in a deal worth 70 million. He won the Champions League around 5 times when he was a Real Madrid player. Now, as you all know, this evening Manchester United play Real Sociedad away from home. It's the Europa League. It's Manchester United's final game of the group. Regardless of what happens, Man United have already qualified for the knockout stages. That was confirmed when Manchester United beat FC Sheriff 3-0. Man United have won 4 games out of 5 in the group. Just want to confirm with you that Anthony Martial has been ruled out for this evening's game. He's picked up another injury. He's had a good 4 injuries this season. Anthony is out. Anthony's injured. He played no part in the 1-0 win against West Ham. Anthony has done well since he come to Man United. He's scored 3 goals for the club so far. Man United got Anthony for 86 million. Jadon Sancho won't be playing any part this evening because he's out with illness. Rafael Varane, he's still out with injury. He came off injured in the 1-1 draw with Chelsea. It was a thigh injury and Varane went off the pitch in tears. Tuanzebe's injured. He'll be on his way out of the club next year. He don't get in the team. Last season he was out on loan with Villa. He's enjoyed 3 loan spells with Villa. And Brandon Williams is injured. Another one that doesn't get in the team. I think he'll go next year. Last season he was out on loan with Norwich. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 win against West Ham at Old Trafford. The goal came from Marcus Rashford in the first half. It was a header. It was Marcus Rashford's 100th goal for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford should have had more than one against West Ham because he had some good opportunities. Rashford also came off the bench in our last game in the Europa League and scored. Rashford is enjoying a very good season. He just needs to be more clinical in front of goal. Don't forget he was injured earlier on this season. As you all know, Manchester United want to extend Marcus Rashford's contract by January. Amid PSG interest, Rashford's contract at the club expires next year. There's an option of an additional year. Revert back to September, Marcus Rashford got named Premier League Player of the Month. But reflecting on that win against West Ham, it did move Man United 1 point off top 4, and Man United are now unbeaten in the last 7 or 8 games in all competitions. We haven't lost since the 6-3 thrashing of Manchester City. Real Sociedad, they're top of the group. As you all know, they are missing 7 players for this evening's game. I'll name some of the players. They're obviously missing Mikel Oyarzabal. David Silva's injured. He's a former Manchester City player. Mohamed Ali Cho's injured. Andy Martin's injured. And Sadiq's injured. So they are 5 players, and they've got 2 other players injured. Real Sociedad lost their last game in La Liga to Real Betis 2-0. Real Sociedad, of course, won the game at Old Trafford 1-0, but Man United were robbed because Lisandro Martinez got controversially penalised for a handball. Man United won away at Real Sociedad 4-0 in February last year, but it was 0-0 at Old Trafford. The Real Sociedad manager is Imanol Alguacil. He's been the Real Sociedad manager for a long time. At one point he managed Real Sociedad's reserve team. Let me put into the equation that Real Sociedad let Adnan Januzaj go. He's a former Man United player. And they let Alexander Isak go to Newcastle back in January. Manchester United's next league game is Aston Villa this weekend. It has been confirmed that Bruno Fernandes will be missing that game. Of course, yesterday I gave you the news on David De Gea. David De Gea will accept a major pay cut to stay at Man United. At the moment, De Gea earns £375,000 a week. His current contract expires at the end of the season. De Gea has endured around 11 years or so at Manchester United, so he's been a long-serving player. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. De Gea is Man United's #1 goalkeeper. Done well in a lot of games this season. He did well against West Ham, and Eric Ten Hag praised De Gea. De Gea made some fantastic saves in that game to deny Mikel Antonio, Declan Rice, Kurt Zouma and Jared Bowen. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Manchester United. You've obviously got Ronaldo. That's in the final year of his contract, but there is an option of an additional year. There's a good chance that Ronaldo will be leaving next year. Man United are going to consider releasing him on a free transfer. Napoli have been interested in him. Chelsea have been interested in him. Ronaldo has been his second spell at Man United. Man United re-signed him from Juventus last year. Ronaldo did play against West Ham and he missed several chances. Ronaldo scored on his return against FC Sheriff at Old Trafford. That was Ronaldo's 701st career goal. He missed the 1-1 draw with Chelsea as a punishment for him refusing to come on as a substitute in the 2-0 win against Tottenham. He stormed down the tunnel before full time. And as you all know, we've got Marcus Rashford in the final year of his contract. Luke Shaw's in the final year of his contract. Erik ten Hag, I think he's doing a good job as Manchester United manager. Ten Hag does need time. This is his first full season as Man United manager. His expectations this season will be to get Manchester United a top 4 finish. And if he can get us a top 4 finish, I'll underline that and say that's a good first full season, then build from that. It'd be good if he could win a trophy at United this season, because Man United have not won a domestic trophy for around 5 years. Erik ten Hag, earlier on this year, won Premier League Manager of the Month. He replaced Ralf Rangnick earlier on this year. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. And he's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. Erik ten Hag, of course, has made 6 signings as Manchester United manager. He recommended Terrell Malacia in, Christian Eriksen, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Antony and Martin Dubravka. Man United have spent over 200 million this year. Ten Hag, he's obviously looking to make more signings in January. He's got rid of players as well, but despite that, he's still inheriting players who other managers have brought in. Revert back to when Erik ten Hag was at Ajax, he did very well, didn't he? Because he won Eredivisie titles, won Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals and developed the young players well. And don't forget, Erik ten Hag was the one that recommended Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren in. They've been working alongside ten Hag. So there you go, and obviously at Man United you've still got, John Murtaugh, Richard Arnold. Earlier on this year, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. You got Benny McCarthy. Unfortunately, the Glazers are still at Manchester United. The Glazers have been a massive issue at the club for a long time. And for a long time, United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club since 2005. Revert back to a few weeks ago, though, he said that the Glazers had set a price to consider selling the club, and that was 9 billion. Sir Jim Ratcliffe prior to that came out and said that the Glazers don't want to sell Man United because Sir Jim Ratcliffe did admit he would have bought the club during the summer if the club had been up for sale. As you all know, we have seen 5 managers leave Man United since Ferguson. Of course, after Ferguson, Manchester United had David Moyes, sacked him. After that, we had Van Gaal, sacked him. After 2 years, won the FA Cup under him. After Van Gaal, had Mourinho, sacked Mourinho after like 2.5 years. Did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season, but failed to exceed expectations in his second season. Plus, Mourinho had problems with the board and the top players at Man United. And after that, we had Solskjaer, sacked him in November last year. He was the Man United manager for almost 3 years. And obviously after that had Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick left Man United earlier on this year. He was Man United's interim manager for 5 months, round about that. Don't forget, not so long ago, Rangnick slammed the Man United board. Rangnick asked Man United to sign Luis Diaz, Erling Haaland and 4 other targets, but they refused to back him. And obviously now Man United have got Erik ten Hag. The last time Manchester United won the Premier League was back in 2013, which is almost 10 years ago. Man United have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. We're doing well at the moment under Ten Hag, but we're still not the same team as we was under Ferguson, and it's going to be hard for anybody to replicate what Ferguson did. You know, Ferguson brought success to Man United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was the Man United manager for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. He retired almost 10 years ago, and I told you the only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes when he retired, but the reasons he did that at the time is because they're both Scottish and he had a lot of time for him at that time. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.